No one should expect members of these groups to go through the rest of their lives thinking the same thing about inflation, or the stock market, or unemployment, or money in general. No one should expect them to respond to financial information the same way. No one should assume they are influenced by the same incentives. No one should expect them to trust the same source of advice. No one should expect them to agree on what matters, what's worth it, what's likely to happen next, and what's the best path forward is. The view of money was formed in different worlds. And when that's the case, a view about money that one group of people thinks is outrageous can make perfect sense to another. A few years ago, the New York Times did a story on the working condition of Foxconn, the massive Taiwanese electronics manufacturer. The conditions are often atrocious. Readers were rightfully upset, but a fascinating response to the story came from my nephew of a Chinese worker, who wrote in the comment section, "My aunt worked several years in what Americans call sweatshops. It was hard work, long hours, small wage, poor working conditions. Do you know what my aunt did before she worked in one of these factories? She was a prostitute." The idea of working in a sweatshop compared to that old lifestyle is an improvement, in my opinion. I know that my aunt would rather be exploited by an evil capitalist boss for a couple of dollars than have her body be exploited by several men for pennies. That is why I am upset by many Americans thinking, we do not have the same opportunities as the West. Our governmental infrastructure is different. The country is different. Yes, factory is hard labor. Could it be better? Yes, but only when you compare such to American jobs. I don't know what to make of this. Part of me wants to argue fiercely. Part of me wants to understand, but mostly it's an example of how the different experiences can lead to vastly different views within topics that one side intuitively thinks should be black and white. Every decision people make with money is justified by talking the information they have at the moment and plugging it into their unique mental model of how the world works. Those people can be misinformed. They can have incomplete information. They can be bad at math. They can be persuaded by rotten marketing. They can have no idea what they're doing. They can misjudge the consequences of their actions. Oh, can they ever? But every financial decision a person makes sense to them in that moment and checks the box they need to check. They tell themselves a story about what they're doing and why they're doing it, and the story has been shaped by their own experiences. Take a simple example, lottery tickets. Americans spend more on them than movies, video games, music, sporting events, and books combined. And who buys them? Mostly poor people. The lowest income household in the US on average spend $412 a year on lotto tickets, 4 times the amount of those in the highest income groups. 40% of Americans cannot come up with $400 in an emergency, which is to say, those buying $400 in lottery tickets are by and large the same people who say they couldn't come up with the $400 in an emergency. They are blowing their safety nets on something with a 1 in a million chances of hitting it big. That seemed crazy to me. It probably seems crazy to you too, but I'm not in the lowest income group. You're likely not either. So it's hardly for many of the US to intuitively grasp the subconscious reasoning of low-income lottery ticket buyers. But it's strained a little, and you can imagine it going something like this. We live paycheck to paycheck and savings seems out of reach. Our prospects for much higher wages seem out of reach. We can't afford nice vacations, new cars, health insurance, or homes in safety neighborhoods. We can't put our kids through college without crippling debt. Much of the stuff you people read finance books either have now or have a good chance of getting, we don't. Buying a lottery ticket is the only time in our lives we can hold a tangible dream of getting the good stuff that you already have and take for granted. We are paying for a dream, and you may not understand that because you are already living in a dream. That's why we buy more tickets than you do. You don't have to agree with this reasoning, but buying lotto tickets when you're broke is still a bad idea. But I can kind of understand why lotto ticket sales persist.